Kia ora, g'day, welcome back here again with part two of the Navy Divers episode 1 Hell Week. So let's jump back in.
Just camping on some hill like that. No sleeping bags, nothing. Just make do with what you've got, I guess. Try to get as comfy as you can.
Yeah, hanging in there. I feel like my legs are about to fall off. Never really wanted a normal 9 to 5 job. When someone comes up and asks you, what do you do for a living? I say, I'm a plumber. And it's like, there are heaps of plumbers out there. So, if someone comes up and asks you, what do you do? So, I'm a clearance officer. So, oh, what's that? So, something a little bit different, a little bit more exciting.
A new day and a new challenge. This time a simulated covert operation and yet another grueling climb.
There's a lighthouse just over there, and we got a rendezvous. There's someone up there. We got about an hour and a half to get up there, so we should have heaps of time. But you never know, anything can happen.
Famous last words are, we should have heaps of time. Next minute.
If they're to operate in real conditions, the men must learn to follow orders to the letter. In this test, they've been specifically ordered to stay together and wear exactly the same uniform.
22's fiddling around with his backpack.
11's gone. Look at that. Undressing. Don't even know we're here. See now? Yeah, so he's got his on, he's got his off.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
20's going for a stroll.
I'm going to go rattle that shit tin, eh? $21, you say?
Nice. Yeah.
I'll hand it back when I'm good and ready. If at all.
What do you want me to do now? Yeah.
All right, let's see. Just leaving it around looks fucking unprofessional, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
The men's mistake with their uniforms incurs a punishment.
All right, gather in, lads.
They have half an hour to get back to the beach and identify themselves to Chief Shirley with an exchange of code words. Fatigue is causing the men's minds and bodies to shut down.
Hold up.
Yet as clearance divers, they will have to perform more complex and dangerous tasks under these conditions all the time. But for now, Todd Adamson struggles with a simple task.
Oh, I'm just cruising.
As designated team leader, he has to respond to Chief Shirley's code words, a little, with the word further.
Yeah, before it was a little cold.
Yeah, it was a bit cold before, but just a little. Yeah. I knew what had to be said, and by the time we got down the beach, we were a bit late, and the chief just threw me off with the way he started talking to me.
Of course, I've had to wait a little longer than I expected to. I think I've been compromised, so I'll have to pass on another one of my blokes. He's up at Barrenjoey Lighthouse.
Next thing I know, he's made us walk back up again. The boys are devastated.
See you later. This is basically what we put them all through to get them to this point. They're tired, they're sore, they're flogged, possibly even pissed off. You can see now who's organising the troops, who's shutting down. Some of the blokes, you can tell, are going to be rock solid. No matter how much you flog them, they'll keep taking it and they'll keep performing and they'll keep thinking on their feet. This is good. This is what we need to see.
It's great to hear the input and insights from the head instructors in terms of what they're looking for why they're doing what they're doing. I think for a lot of people that watch it probably have an understanding of why it is the selection processes are the way they are and why they're doing what they're doing. But it's just nice, from my perspective anyway, from not knowing anything about the Navy, hearing the instructor speaking about their take, what they're looking for, the grey man piece that was spoken about in the first part of the reaction, the breaking down of the individual, or them articulating how they're trying to break them down, what they're looking for. And from the first reaction as well, it's not about trying to get the number of vests up or as many vests as they can. It's about getting the right vests hanging up that weeds out those that aren't cut out for the job. Whether, I think one of the guys mentioned in the first reaction that I did, physically he was good, seemed like a good bloke as well, I think was the term that was used, but just, yeah, mentally, psychologically, whatever, he'd come back in the day or the next day and just said, yeah, I'm out of here. And they were like, what? So even they were surprised. I think Big Phil Campion uses the term bluffer in the 2-2 SAS or UK SF selection. So yeah, you can only bluff your way so far during a selection course, is my experience anyway, regardless of whether that's Army, Navy, or whatever it might be.
The clearance diver assessment test is nearly at an end. But for number 14, Brodie Limbury, one hurdle still remains. He must pass the Boland test.
Divers use it as to tie off their lifelines. They tie it around themselves because it's not going to come undone because it's pretty safe, pretty good knot. Like, say this is your lifeline, you get it, make a bow line. And I'd be pretty disappointed in myself, like if I failed because of a simple bow line. Like, yeah.
Let's go in the water. Move.
This is going to be your last opportunity to complete this task. In your time, go on.
Full credit to this young fella, eh? Still in there, 18 years of age. Didn't get through it the first time, or evolution, or whatever they call it when they went through the first time. But he has an opportunity, this fair and reasonable process that they're going through, giving him an opportunity to retest. You know, this is his last chance now, though. So yeah, hopefully he cracks it.
Here he comes. Get it.
Yep, that's good. Well done. Next man.
Brodie's success does not guarantee that he will pass CDAT.
Okay, Andrew, what do you got on here?
The school's assessment panel must look at each candidate's total performance. Even at this late stage, some of them will be rejected.
Today was a tough day for all candidates, and as it is, they're on rock bottom. This is where the true character traits come out.
I saw a real lack of urgency today, quite disorganised, particularly with respect to his gear. Finds real difficulty following briefings.
I like him because he's emotionless, which is an absolute must as far as I'm concerned.
I think he made a deliberate attempt to play the grey man, not put his head up above the rest of the guys, because often when you do that, it gets chopped off.
Still has not got his shit together. To me, that means he will never have his shit together. You give him any more than a lunchbox, he's going to start losing stuff.
This is worse than CDAT.
27 men started CDAT, 18 have finished, but only 13 will be accepted for clearance diver training.
Man, that sounds like a pretty good number. 27 started, 18 finished. Again, because I'm assuming that's a strong candidate pool, and you have to be. It seems like you have to be at a pretty high level before you can even get on to the CDAT in the first place. And then I think you said 13 13 are going to be accepted. So, yeah, selections are a challenge. They're difficult. Like you can complete and get to the end, but no guarantee that you'll be selected to carry on. So let's see what happens. See who gets through, or if they show. Yeah, I'm guessing they'll show who gets through. They've been showing all the faces, so it's a different sort of type of environment to the Special Air Service.
Oh, nervous as, very nervous.
That smile looks pretty positive. He looks like he's pretty happy. He must have got through, I'm guessing.
After being pulled off his first attempt at CDAT, making it through these 10 days means a lot to number 21, Matthew Docker.
Sometimes I wish that they never pulled me off that last one, even if they did fail me at the end. But just not knowing whether I could have finished it or not was kind of playing on my mind a bit. So that kind of gave me a bit of motivation to take on the next one.
An A-class pass means Dobbo is an automatic qualifier for the clearance divers course.
Sweet. Happy ass.
Happy days, mate. What? Yeah, you're bullshit, mate. Are you serious? It's pretty devastating. After going through those 10 days and then, being told that they weren't happy with, what you did or with your performance.
Yeah. Hey. It's tough, It's tough all around. Like, it's just, but they've got a process, right? So I suppose that's the piece that I want to just lean into. They've got a tried, tested, proven process. They've got things that they look for in the individuals. Now, I don't know if they have psychs as part of their process. Maybe it's something that they do now, or maybe they don't. I haven't heard any mention of psychologists and that sort of thing. And there's different thoughts and stuff around that, Like a lot of people may feel like, what does a psychologist who's never done selection, never been through that, why do they have a say in a person's suitability to serve in a role like that, or in the SAS or wherever? And yeah, I guess my take, without being a psychologist or anything like that, I think there's a lot of value, just me personally, in terms of having that completely different perspective, different background. Yep, it's likely academic, but I don't know how much field experience and stuff they've had as well, in terms of how many years they've got underneath their belt. I'm assuming they've got a bit, hopefully. The unit selects psychologists with a good reputation and a few runs on the board, because it is a pretty, well, not pretty, it's a huge decision that impacts individuals, and it can go on to impact them mentally for a long period of time, if those things aren't, I suppose, communicated or done as well as what they could. So yeah, I think there is some value in having, I think there is value in having psychologists that are clinically trained and all that sort of stuff, because I think of a couple of things. One thing that comes to mind right off the bat is the number of like the psych testing stuff to identify sort of your traits and stuff in business. We did one not that long ago. I forget the name of the company, whereby you answer a whole bunch of seemingly random questions, and then it spits out this big report of sort of your leadership style and what you're like under these different types of situations, and how to get the best out of you, and how you can sort of work in with others. And I'm always surprised at how, for that stage of life that I'm in, how pretty accurate that thing is of me and its description of me in those reports. I haven't got my report right in front of me right now, but I have got one that was done maybe nearing the end of last year. So what are we, May now? So it's only about 6 months old, thereabouts, 6-7 months old. But it was pretty accurate when I was reading through it. And other ones that I've done for that period of time that I was in, those were also pretty accurate. So I think in that perspective, there's clearly some value in it. They seem to get things pretty right. And in the context here, like again, I don't know if they've got psychs, but again, speaking from the army perspective, I think it's good to have that almost they're there for their understanding of human psychology. I guess they're not there because they necessarily know what it's like physically to go through the selection. That's not what they've been brought in for, if that makes sense. You're grabbing pieces of a wider pool of resources, I guess is the easiest way that I can describe it, and you're grabbing these tools, these resources to make this thing better, to improve it. So if we're looking at the unit, you're grabbing the psychologist to help here, you've got the badge members here, you've got the physical training instructors here, you've got whatever other support you might need to bolt on to overall make that whole unit as a whole function as well as it can. So hopefully that makes sense anyway. If it doesn't, sorry, too bad. It's the best I've got. But I do think, personally, I think psychologists play an important part, and I think they definitely have a role to play. Do they always get it right? Probably not. And I think they would probably be the first to admit that they don't always get it right. But clearly, well, maybe not clearly, but in my experience, I think there's value for them. Here, whether or not they have them in the Navy divers piece and assessment, I don't know. But it'd be interesting to know if they do. So if anybody does know from the Australian Navy divers, if you guys have psychologists that are part of the process in your panel and the assessments that happen, because I note like this was a 10-day process, but we've only seen snippets and bits and pieces. That'd be awesome to know if that is part of the process.
Brodie Limbury is desperate to pass CDAT, to prove something not just to himself, but to his family as well. But since failing the Boland test, his confidence has taken a battering.
I'll now ask my staff to make some comments on your performance, starting with Lieutenant Commander Gordon.
A few days ago, I thought you'd actually dropped the ball. You had difficulty organising, caring for your equipment, on various occasions losing your cap, your torch, your rope toggle, your water bottle, and demonstrating failure to attend to briefing details.
You seem to take a bit of a hit when you struggle with that first bowline, but you still dug deep. You're very good at teamwork, come up with a lot of good ideas, which is unusual for someone as young as yourself compared to some of the older blokes we've got here. I think you started to shine a bit when a few other blokes were dropping back, when everyone was starting to get their lowest. You kept pushing through. Managed to keep your sense of humour, and when you finally did pass the bowline test, yeah, you're a new man all of a sudden, throwing jellyfish and smiling and high fives all around.
Okay, Stephen Limbury, you've been awarded an A-class pass.
There you go, Broads.
Look at that glow, look at that glow.
The last 10 days have just been a test. That's all it is. They've obviously been taught nothing about clearance diving. It's just a test.
That's awesome. The young fella got through. Congratulations, man. Yeah, that's awesome. And to all the candidates that got through here, this one looks like it's wrapping up soon, so I'll let it play out.
There's quite a long way to go, but this is hopefully to prove that we have the right sort of material to work with to turn them into clearance divers. Because as you know, a prodder doesn't work with shit. He works with clay. So hopefully we've got clay.
Next on Navy Divers, the men's clearance diver training begins.
If you're the attendant, do not give the dive too much slack. Let's sort it out. All right, you blokes?
New equipment, new skills, new pressure. In turbulent water off Sydney Harbour, they'll dive deeper than any of them have been before. There will be casualties.
Let's go! Let's go!
That's cool. Awesome to see. Congratulations to all of those that got through and passed. Look forward to reacting to part 2. I've really enjoyed this one. Enjoyed listening, watching, and just observing the instructors, the feedback that's provided to the candidates that pass. We got a bit of an insight and a snippet there. Seeing those smiles come out and just the joy. I can relate and connect with that. So that's awesome to see. I can also connect with the devastation and the heartache that the fella that got taken off, got withdrawn from the first course, and him coming back and doing it again, but then been or not passing in the eyes, not well enough in the eyes of the panel and the instructors, so unable to progress on to the next stage. Whether or not he goes back and does it a third time, or maybe he's already done it, who knows? But yeah, full credit to these guys, man. Navy diver course, and just the work that they go through, the sacrifices that are made. And awesome to see that young fella again. Just mentioning him, 18 years of age, his parents would be pretty proud, I reckon, his younger brothers, and hopefully he's doing well as the rest of them. So I look forward to reacting to part 2. Anyway, thank yous all again for your time, for your support. Thank you again to, where is he? Sorry. Where is it? Oh, bloody hell, I'm in the wrong page. Here we go. Thank you again to JEPH.087 for that recommendation of the Navy Clearance Divers Hell Week episode 1. So I'll get to episode 2. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's time, support, encouragement, comments, inputs. Thank you very much. As always, anybody going through any difficulties, challenges, hard times, man, just know that you're not alone, eh? You are not alone. Everybody's going through stuff in some way, shape, or form. Some may be heavier or may appear or seem to be heavier than what others are going through. But regardless, we're all going through stuff, and they're nonetheless important. So just keep turning up, keep staying in the fight. Remember that the sun will shine again and that you are closer to better days than you think. So just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Remember, go always a little further, and who dares wins. And until the next video, a big mana wave coming from me to you, filled with my aroha, respect, appreciation, and gratitude for you all.